Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. I'm Mr. Bart, or Steve Bartholomew, and I teach video game modding here at Pentucket High School. This has been such a fun class. I personally look forward to it every day, and I hope your student does as well. So right now we're working on a game called OpenRA, and if you've ever played or heard of Command and Conquer, it's a game that is based on it's no longer owned by Westwood Studios, but Westwood Studios are the people who made Command and Conquer back in the mid 90s. They released a open and free version as like a demo. And so OpenRA is based upon not the game Command and Conquer, because that would have been, violating copyright laws, but only on the demo that was released by Westwood so many years ago. And they even have a statement on the website, the OpenRA website, that they made in conjunction with, I believe it's EA, who now owns Command and Conquer, and they have just actually recently re-released Command and Conquer Remastered, about how they're actually working together. The developers of OpenRA have worked with the people at EA to develop that game, and it's really nice to see a company as big as that being okay with, not making a big deal about a community that has taken something that they could say, well, that's under copyright, but they're letting people develop it. I think it's because they realize how much modding has done for video games in general. And you're talking about an industry that makes more than, last I saw, it was more than music, movies, and TV. I think all three of those combined, video gaming makes more than all of those combined. So it's a huge industry, and there's a lot of money on it at stake. So it's really cool to see. It's interesting to see. I don't know if it's cool. We've worked on assignments, and I've been putting assignments out there through Google Classroom, mainly Edpuzzle ones, and more recently I've been doing some ones on code.org. And the students who have been turning them in, which is the majority, have been doing great. But as soon as I ask in class to do it, it's so funny because people have a preconceived notion about, well, this is coding, this is going to be difficult. Where it's very funny, because when we were doing it on code.org, everyone's like, boom, 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 I get it, I understand it, it's straightforward. But then now that we're on the computer and we are looking at actual lines of code that are in a game we've played, it becomes that much more intimidating. And hopefully by the end of this course, they'll kind of realize, oh wait, this is stuff we've been doing all along. It's not really that far out of the realm of possibility that I could go in and change some really interesting stuff around. And that's mainly the idea of this course. I want people to realize that you can go in and do interesting stuff. It can certainly look intimidating when you open up a .yaml and you see all these lines of gibberish, or what appears to be gibberish, but just kind of trying to demystify that slowly but surely, and not have that assumption be like, well, this is too much, but kind of try and look at it with a more analytical point of view. And hopefully we're getting aspects of that. As I said, working on OpenRA, and we also did some stuff on the graphical side using a free program. It's essentially the free version of Photoshop. It's called GIMP, and that's been another little piece that actually we spent a bit more time on that than I had thought. It is a little bit difficult to use, but basically you can take any of the images which appear in the game and kind of make them your own. So if you wanted to put in the Pentucket logo, the new Pentucket logo, you could put that into the game instead of the original icon that comes with it. But other aspects of the game we've changed are, people have chosen different things to work on, but so it's a real-time strategy game based upon an alternative history of like World War II, but the two factions are Russia and Ukraine, and well, they're two in one faction, the Soviets, and then the Allies, who are France, Germany, and Britain. So you have those two sides. So however the alternative history worked, I don't know, but they have unique abilities on each side. And in one case, we had somebody who modified the shock troopers, who are a exclusively Russian on the Soviet side character. And normally, the shock trooper can shock you if you're like 5 feet away in the game. Well, open it up, and they have like as soon as you open the game, there's like a little thing going on in the background, like a match, but it's not really. And you just see lightning going across the screen. It's because they've modified the game. It sounds kind of silly, I'm sure, but in the end, to achieve that, you have to go in, you have to look at the code, you have to distinguish, hey, where is the shock trooper in this game? And then you have to hexadecimal in terms of like the distance they can fire. So a lot of steps went into that, which may be silly and it's funny to watch, obviously, but like making something that you're actually learning and understanding to do entertaining and fun, I think, is really important. Hopefully they enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying teaching the class. If you have any questions, you can always reach me on my email. It's sbartholomew@prsd.org. And moving forward, I just view that we're probably going to be doing more modifications. I'll continue to work with Edpuzzle. Code.org is great in terms of giving you stuff to work with, or games to work with, that you can then kind of make your own. But what we're doing in like the class, but for the assignments that are really going to be the things that I think shine and make it really cool. And that is it. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.